Well, unsurprisingly, and I would say very tastefully, we have addressed the big elephant in the room for Mahiro becoming a girl with, yes, that time of the month. Granted, I knew it was coming because I've kind of sneak peeked a little bit into the manga and knew it was kind of coming up. I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't include a certain thing about that whole scene, but yes, episode 2 continues to make Onimai one of my favorite shows of the season. Now, Magical Revolution is kind of fighting with it, doing a very good job fighting with it, but I still absolutely adore this series, and you can judge me all you want. I just think it's super, super cute. And yes, I can follow some of the comments from the last video about how it's kind of mean that this sister's doing this to this brother, but it's still super cute. And yes, technically it's fictional, so it's kind of okay. I'm not going to sit here and do like a major judgment scene here, but yes, episode 2 of Onimai was absolutely fantastic. I guess to get out of the way, if this ends up being a weekly covering, which I'm kind of thinking it will be, I will do weekly detective work. We'll call it detective work as to what is changed with the global version of Onimai, because obviously we established from the first episode that there's a global version that everybody else gets, and then there's a Japanese version. And the Japanese version is the uncensored version, and they're the only ones that get it. In the first episode, we had like this whole scene where Mahiro comes out of the bathroom or the shower. That was cut, and additionally him changing his bra was cut. In episode 2, obviously more massive amounts of fog, which again is kind of a staple for this at this point. And there's additional scene at the very beginning where Mihari first goes into take a bath. They cut the scene where she goes in there and scoops up some water and goes to pour it on herself. So again, once again, just like the first episode, why that scene out of everything? Why is that the offend? I really think at this point the studio is just trolling the global version. Like, let's just troll them with the most dumb censorship versus everything else that's in the episode. Let's cut this one thing that's probably the least offensive. There was another show that did that, where it's like it feels like they're almost doing it on purpose just to, like, I don't know, stick a middle finger to everybody. But anyways, that's seemingly, from what I've seen by going through the entire episode twice, that seems to be the only thing that was cut, again, besides the fog. That aside, Andrew's detective work segment aside, really did love this episode because, again, my predictions with the first episode was that this series is going to be a lot to do with almost a rebonding between these two characters. These siblings that almost seemingly, based on how it feels with the first episode, they seem like there's a rift between the two of them. And additionally, Mihari believes that, I think, that Mahiro has been wasting away his life, and she's trying to fix that. And I think she's doing that through introducing her to things that she deals with, the things of femininity that she deals with. And they're doing a really good job of that. And with this episode specifically, opening this segment where you have them going to the bathhouse because the heater's messed up. And I like how she's like, well, can't you just fix it? Well, that's not my forte. And it's like, but you're mad scientist that figured out how to change somebody into a girl. I think you can figure out a heater. But no, I think she's probably just kind of wanting to have the moment with them. So deciding to go to this bathhouse was her answer. But it's really cute because once again we're establishing this aspect of, yes, things for women is much more complicated. Hair especially is an effort. It's an effort. I like how she kind of points it out as this idea that, yeah, technically it's kind of your self-expression. Your hair is your self-expression, so taking good care of it, it's technically one of the things that you see the most when you're out in public and whatever is your hair. It's your way of expressing yourself. And yeah, him figuring out that it's a complicated 5 minutes with the length of it. I'm surprised he didn't go immediately home and just cut the whole thing off, which would suck. I don't want that. But yeah, just kind of going into the fact that this takes like 5 minutes for him to fully clean this hair is an absolute chore, which is why typically they don't like to clean the hair often. But it was really cute. It was a really cute little scene. But no, I think the gym obviously is once he finally leaves the bathhouse or he goes into the lobby area and you get that sense of something that once was that's no longer is. Again, that rift that's between the two of them that this is almost kind of fixing because of the fact that they're both the equal gender. They're able to be more comfortable with each other. I mean, she almost did it when she first went in there and started taking off clothes. And she's like, well, I know that you're not bothered by me being in here, which was funny because he's like, well, if she's okay with it, then why not? And then, yeah, sure enough, it's just a bunch of grannies, obviously. But no, it's like she immediately realizes, oh yeah, he could see me, and that bothers her. But it's like you seemingly comfortable with him at least, but she's still kind of uncomfortable with him seeing her, which is kind of funny. But no, kind of getting that little brief moment where he realized, oh yeah, that's right. I used to take care of her because he was her older brother. Now he's kind of taken the role of being the little sister because the body that he ended up with is seemingly petite and younger. And so there is this little struggle that he's having with like, okay, well, I remember back in the day, we used to bath together all the time. And I used to take care of her. Like she couldn't take care of her own hair, so I used to do that for her. And so now it's the reverse happening. So having her come out, having to say his actual name instead of saying Oniichan, and then having that after moment of him calling her Oniichan, which was super cute because it's him acknowledging for once, now she's taking care of me. Again, it's reestablishing those connections they've lost. Amidst this being a cutesy, fun little show, there's heart in here, which is, again, what I was kind of mentioning with the first episode. He's acknowledging that she is, despite the fact that she caused it, we're not going to forget the fact that, yes, she caused it. Despite that, she's taking care of him now, and she's helping him through all these issues that he now has faced, which, yes, gets significantly deeper with the next part, which is, yes, that it's that time. It's been a month. It's that time for him to experience easily one of the most uncomfortable things that I can think of about being changed into a girl is dealing with that time of the month. Which for a while there, she just thought that he was sick. He thought that he was dying because it's so funny. Oh, his stomach's hurting, and I'm like, I immediately knew what it is. Because again, I've read a little bit in the manga, so I knew exactly what they're getting into. But they expanded it quite a bit, and I think that's the kind of key thing with this adaptation. Yes, they're being a lot more spicy with the adaptation. Let's be perfectly clear. There's a lot of added spicy scenes with the first episode and the second episode, which I thought they were going to kind of tone down. Like, just let that be kind of the draw in for some people. And then as it goes along, they'll kind of dial it back a little bit. But Biden's kind of just going with it. But they, like I said, they're doing a really good job of kind of extending these scenes because the manga is kind of short. Like, these segments are really short. So they're actually putting a lot of effort into really expanding it and drawing it out to give it more impact. So yes, having Mahiro just having this aching pain, he doesn't know what it is, he's suffering with it, he doesn't know what it is, he might have pulled a muscle or something like that. And then over time, eventually, Mihari figures it out. Like, oh, got something to tell you, don't freak out. She's like, don't freak out. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Okay, just please don't freak out. And yeah, sure enough, when he goes in there, yes, he finds that there's something happening with his body. So he thinks that he's dying, and it's like, the dude doesn't even know about that. Like, I don't know, I guess he's super sheltered. I don't know. I mean, he's a gamer, onliner. I mean, he probably, I don't know, maybe it's different in Japan, that kind of stuff being joked about. But dude's oddly sheltered in that regard. Especially with the being an eroge gamer, you'd figure that he'd run into a lot of that stuff. But no, it was super cute. Again, having Mihari kind of helping out, again, acknowledging that she caused this, helping him out. And what kind of extended from that was just, and I don't think this was in the manga, having this extended moment in the after scenes where, yes, she gives him a little warmer for this belly, gives him a pad and all that kind of stuff. He finds it being very awkward. You have this cute little conversation between the two of them. Ihari acknowledging that, yes, technically men have something down there all the time as well. How do they deal with it? He doesn't want to talk about it. But again, a cute little additional aspect in the idea that he kind of acknowledges the strengths of women. Again, this is kind of that undertone they can easily dive into, and they're doing it very well with Bind. Is they're addressing that, yes, this is an uncomfortable situation. Yes, this is kind of a dumb, quirky little thing we're doing with the gender bending. But in the midst of it, at least having him experiencing the troubles of being a female. The fact that you have to take care of yourself physically, exercising, eating, your hair is your expression, taking care of it, the time it takes to take care of it. And yes, technically that time of the month and the pain that they go through, the uncomfortableness, all the things they have to do extra in order to take care of that. It's at least acknowledging that, and he's telling her that. You guys are tough for having to deal with this on a regular basis. Like, it gives him respect for what she has to go through. And then a cute little addition, which embarrasses her. Next time you have that same thing, let me know, and I'll be there for you in a flash. Of course, that's embarrassing to her. She's like, no, I don't want you to be a part of that. Like, she's taking care of him, but at the same time, she doesn't want him to take care of her with that situation. It's super cute. I was a little bit disappointed that they cut, maybe they'll put it in the next episode, I doubt it, but they did cut one minor thing that was in the manga in this particular scene, which is that, yeah, you're having an issue with this stiff pad down there. She offered the alternative, which is an insert. And he's like, wait, this goes inside. He's holding it up. I was talking to some folks on the Discord last night, and I'm like, I don't think that they're going to adapt that. Like, I don't know how even broadcast in Japan would be comfortable with that. Obviously, in the West, we celebrate that stuff, which is weird, but it's a thing. But I don't think that's necessarily something they're like public about in Japan. That's why they're very kind of discreet with this even portrayal here. But in the manga, like, he literally holds it up, and I figured they would do that and just have it mosaic or something like that. But that was funny. I got a kick out of that in the manga, but I was kind of a little bit disappointed they didn't. But I was expecting it. I was expecting they weren't going to have it. It was even super cute, the fact that Mihari really thought that, like, he had side effects from the medicine. Like, she was really upset. She didn't want to lose him. Like, we had that little honesty moment kind of just come out of nowhere of, like, I thought you were going to leave me all alone, which kind of implies they don't have any parents, which it's anime. They never have parents. But yeah, there was one last little scene, which was the dress up stuff, which was super cute. Him doing the braiding thing, and then her walking in, and so they decided to try on a bunch of stuff, ponytails and everything. We got ponytail Mahiro, and yes, cat ears. We got cat ears. And then yes, technically him going, well, what are you talking about, how it's fun to dress up? You never dress up. You're always wearing a lab coat. And so yes, Mihari takes the challenge and goes out and tries on something really super cute and comes back in, and he just doesn't care. She's like, well, what do you think? Yeah. And she is super mad. Super cute scenes. I just absolutely love the chemistry they're building between the two of these. That, again, that broken relationship that seems like it's coming together through this commonality that I think is just super cute. Love it to death. Cannot wait for more. Again, I might be covering this on a weekly basis. As long as it keeps giving me some good moments like this that I love talking about, I'll keep making the videos. So shout out in the comments if it's something you care about me covering on a weekly basis. Always love to hear feedback from you guys. But yes, that's my thoughts on episode 2 of Onimai. I hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, if you did, make sure that like button down below. Again, leave me a comment. Also, if you're new to this channel, make sure that subscribe button so you get all my content. I do news reviews, first impressions, top lists if it's anime is pretty much here. Also, I do episode by episode impressions of certain shows that I decide I like or fun to talk about. Additionally, if you like my content and you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks button down below. We also have a membership where you can become a member of the channel. I greatly appreciate everybody that does, and y'all take care.